Now, Cyclone Pan has been described as the worst natural disaster to hit the South Pacific after it tore through 9 nations last week. The Category 5 system destroyed 90% of Vanuatu's capital, Port Vila, and charities are warning it'll be months before the country can get back on its feet.
The community has been rocked. The stories are also one of incredible resilience and bounce back as well, though. So our country director on the ground described the Saturday morning after people had lived through the horrific winds, and already the chainsaws were going and people were starting to clear the path so recovery could begin. $57,000 children who will be missing out on education because a lot of the schools were the substantial buildings which are being used as evacuation centres. So there's a kind of interruption majorly in the normal life pattern when communities experience these cyclones.
Being in Vanuatu at the time of a Category 5 cyclone was possibly the most, well, definitely the most frightening experience I've ever been through. It was completely beyond anything I ever imagined. It sounded like it was ripping our very lives apart. And in some senses it did rip people's lives apart, even in a place as relatively sophisticated as Port Vila, where there is infrastructure. People's lives have been ripped apart. So right now their only choice is to try as best they can to regain their lives, to regain their livelihoods, and they're doing that in a typically Vanuatu way. And for us, that's the lesson Vanuatu teaches us. Get up, brush yourself off and start doing it again.
The gaffer's a bit of a going over with the tools here. Did you have trouble getting the tools through?
No.
Oh, they went through. They took them out of the bag and looked at them and shook them. And,
Okay.
A little bottle of screws like I brought last time. You know, one of those, plastic bottles and screws and terminals and things. I think he's going to throw them out at one stage.
I think what happened, the first ones that went through customs here, the first 1 or 2 had to open their bags, and then they said there are more coming. So when we got there, they just said, it's okay.
I think it makes a difference going through as a group too, like it helps a bit.
Yes. The guy spent 3 hours in the hardware store.
Okay.
I don't know how many places we were to get 100 nuts, 23 washers and 4 bullets. The prices, in comparison, you can take 85% less we would have paid with Blackwoods in Australia.
While we're all here, before we start, someone's here, yeah. I'd like to propose a toast to the Queenslanders. Yeah.
No,
Tom will get it in.
No, it doesn't work like that.
So have you all met? We all met, have we?
Yes.
You met everybody? Yep. Everybody done
I just met Ted before.
I'd like to make a toast to the Victorians.
And I'd like to say up the Maroons.
We'll show off those bloody tourists.
So what is the balance now? Because we're 11 now, not 10. We were equal before. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ha! New South Wales wins. 6 from New South Wales.
Yeah, I don't think they need numbers.
More skill, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all skill. It's all about skill.
We might be the Donald Trumps.
Look guys, that's only because we taught you. We taught you, we trained you in Tomawa. So I mean, I don't take all the credit now.
But we have to be serious about it.
What do I have?
You got a right nose.
Why don't we just make the other possibly done?
I think Brian wants to really know.
No, honestly, this is probably the time, even though we're conviviating.
What does that mean?
I think Brian should be boss because somebody has got to run a project.
He's senior.
And I reckon Brian should have a bit of a critique and let it know who wants to do what and give people a choice of what they want to do. And especially Ismail and Kevin, yep, possibly take them under their wing. And Rob, I mean, yours is pretty elementary. You've done it 1,000 times. Yeah. I actually need to learn how to weld, so I might come with you. First thing I can see when we hit the barge and when that barge hits the sand out there, is those kids will be down there dragging all their gear. Mind you, I think they all go on holidays next week.
I spoke with John this morning. People will be there.
People will be there, yeah.
Oh, you get a lot of use, you get a lot of help.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Did everybody get that email about the job structure? The different
Sectors, yeah.
sectors of it?
Okay, so at the request of SEA, the group's all together. We've assembled and we've got the project up in hand. What we have to do is get our materials together, and this will prove a bit of a problem as time goes on. Local hardware stores have been asked to have gear ready for us, but we do need to make sure that what we ordered and what's been picked for us definitely add up, and definitely make sure we get it on that barge tonight, ready to go.
It leaves early,
It leaves early, leaves 8 o'clock. We're about to travel down to the wharf to check out the equipment that's been loaded on the boat that was due to go tonight, but unfortunately we're going to have to unload it and transfer it to another barge.
Okay, changing barges at on H-hour is a real problem. First of all, we have to get the gear off, check that it's all been accounted for, make sure we've missed nothing. In the midst of this, Rob suddenly realises that the lengths of steel we ordered aren't long enough, so there is a organised panic to get the hardware and get another couple lengths of steel. Fortunately, this was possible. Times for Vanuatuan people are very, very laid back. Lunch time, everybody goes home at 11:30, they come back at 1:30. But that's their lifestyle and they enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, another length, yeah. Yeah, first, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, that's really the thing. Yeah. I stepped it out of it like 5 and they were actually 6. So. A bit of confirmed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. 8 meters. One more length.
And at this point I was wondering how we're going to transfer these long lengths of steel, conduit and etc. on the back of this ute. As you see, as we loaded, it all came to light. They improvised by getting a piece of round timber and tying it on to the tailgate so it didn't damage the tailgate. Then we proceeded to try and tie it on, and one bloke grabbed a rope, looked like it was used for anchoring a ship, and proceeded to tie it on.
And they're all getting it together. They've got cousins and mates and brothers. And someone knows someone else who can help out, especially when we need another vehicle. Realised we didn't have enough vehicles, so plus Rob had to go and organise steel right on 5 o'clock. Made another problem.
It's all here, and the food must have been delivered here. There was a pallet of water and beer and so forth here, so that must be our food.
What are we doing? What are we doing? We get there at 4 in the morning.
Old mate was saying something about leaving in the morning. That's all. I'm just.
It's 8 o'clock tonight. He did say that, but then he didn't know that.
That water, we need to get everybody to take a bottle before they get on or something.
As you can see here, they're still loading the goods onto the barge to go to all different islands. And this happened right up until 9 o'clock virtually. We were told that we were going to leave at 8. But again, on Vanuatu time, it happens when they're ready. We're just going to have a look.
There's room up here. I don't know. Where's better?
I don't know. Should rock and roll a bit. Oh, that this thing shouldn't rock and roll much.
No, it's pretty flat.
So which one?
And as morning broke, people were waking, coming to life. But just a beautiful flat sea, no one seasick, and everybody getting excited about getting off this barge and getting on with the job.
As you can see, everybody had to sleep where they could, and I can tell you sleeping on steel isn't all that comfortable.
In this particular project we're going to, there are 340 odd children and 40 odd staff in this private school, St Patrick's School, and we're looking forward to catching up with them. As you see, we've got some welcoming party here with the dolphins. Great display.
Just heading into this little harbour, and originally this was a lagoon, and you might be able to see on the cliff face where the cliff used to be. During the Second World War, the Americans blew that to make the harbour, and that now has let all the fresh water join the sea.
As you can see, the cargo made up of many different types of items. The chickens are obviously for sale at one of their markets coming up in Longana.
We had to take all our own food to a certain degree onto the island, particularly our own water, as we were told not to drink the water on the island for obvious reasons. So we had to take boxes and boxes of water with us.
Is there more?
All the fuel arrives on the island in drums, in 44-gallon drums, and you'll see quite a bit of that in Adelaide again.
It's vital to check that we have all our equipment off the boat, so it's once again double checked to make sure everything's off. Many different items, a lot of people, there's no confusion, everybody just gets on with it. As you can see, we had to bring our own concrete with, very vital. And as we found out, the concrete does set pretty good with sand and their local coral.
Everybody comes and helps. That's the system at the moment.
This is John Tari's dog. We actually stayed at his, he gave us his house to stay in, and we turned up and found this little dog running around with us. He became quite a star over the week and actually got named Esprit Pro before the end, which is the name of a piece of electronics donated by Selectronics for the project.
college did have some solar panels stored on the island before we arrived, and they decided to put them up before we got there, and this was the way they decided to do it.
The framing you're designing is two panels high?
No, a single row.
One
single row of 11, of 22.
Yeah, well, no, it's 11 panels, isn't it?
22.
Well, we can change that around, but if we can do it that way if you want to do it.
So what were you going to do, 2 lots of 11?
Yeah.
Well, we've got...
So we can keep that down low though, I mean you don't have to have it high.
That's what I reckon. I was going to get the front down there.
Yeah, get it right down low.
22 we're going to put on.
Just look out here if anybody's digging. There's bloody underground cables somewhere here going down.
Yes.
Strong enough to bridge. Like on the normal, we put them about a metre apart in the cyclone area. Yeah. But if I were to bridge them about a couple of metres.
I just decided I thought they could
Here's the existing installation where they have changeover switches from previous years gone by for different generators.
Flatter the better if it's not quite in the north anyway.
Preparation is a major part of this and getting up in a workmanship-like manner. This whole switchboard here will be replaced ultimately. And that's Kevin well underway with tripods. Michael, myself and Ryan arranging the distribution back into the school system, the existing school system, to try and get the maximum out of the whole solar storage system.
We all had our tasks to perform with this project, and mine was, I suppose, to get the framing done, and we had a couple of people helping me with that, which was great. Here we are digging the holes for the foundations for the framing. We found the islanders work really, really well, and once you give them a task, you can't stop them. They're great workers. Here's Ted putting up the tower for the communication system back and forwards to the main building, and then we had to make up a bit of a frame out of a bit of rusty old steel. That's all we could find, and that'll be screwed up into the roof.
Just to give the principal some sense of comfort and the IT staff, and also for our ongoing support of that project, we've installed a Wi-Fi link between the SP Pro and their router, and this enables monitoring by authorised people from Australia, which John the principal was very, very happy about. In other words, we weren't there just to drop our solar stuff in, we were there to look after them in a manner that is quite achievable using modern technology. This is Maury, he's getting our new distribution board sorted out, and very capable man, very, very humbling, but also a very good cook.
This is the second trip to Vanuatu we've done. Every time we have trouble getting somebody to put their hand up to cook, but Maury was very, very brave and did a marvellous job under the circumstances. Food is very difficult to obtain on all the islands, particularly fresh food. So it takes a very good cook to be able to prepare a nice meal. You can see a lot of old tractors lying around that over the years they've, I assume, been given. When they fail there's really nobody to repair them, and getting parts is really difficult, so they tend to just sit there and rust away. In the workshop we found 4 generators of past era that have been there and pulled apart and failed, obviously, and again, very difficult to get them repaired, so instead of repairing them they just leave them there, and this is a real shame that they can't keep the maintenance up to a lot of the equipment on these islands.
Yes, by installing a solar system and being renewable, They're interested about being green, and it's a very low maintenance system set up for them.
And Cairns hardware, will make Cairns hardware though.
Here's Murray with his nice green socks. I believe they've been donated by a store in Cairns.
Okay, in front of us there we've got a PV grid inverter on the left. We've got the SP Pro in front of Kevin, and the equipment all donated by various organisations such as Selectronic.
The whole process of this venture was to involve the locals as much as we could, and you can see as we go through the whole procedure, we've got them working virtually all the time with us, and this was a way to train them and to bring them up to speed with some of the wiring regulations that are here in Australia, so they have something of a standard to work towards.
That's got to be cemented in there. So if you want to start mixing the cement, and we'll fill it up, and we want to build it up to about there somewhere, so we might have to just paper it up like that. Do you reckon you could do that to make it fairly dry, like the last bit?
We brought our own cement onto the island, but we asked them to get the aggregate for us, so they went down to the beach and brought back sand and coral and mixed those together with the cement. No ready mix on this island.
Are we ready to go, buddy?
There's one over there ready to go.
Oh, this. The top of their head. See how they go doing that. Yeah, just complain so that it's too low, and I'm sure they'll come and do it. Another barrel load to cover the top.
Interaction with the parents of the children and the workers from the village was promoted greatly. These are very smart people. Majority of them speak 3 languages, English, French and Bislam, and they are very, very clever, and they are just sponges for information. They love to interact and learn new skills, and education is taken very, very seriously. Peter and David, great mates, and as you'll see, they relate very well.
Hey, this is my friend David.
Just straight away to be level, you've got to be above it.
I don't think the land does slope this way. I reckon it slopes that way.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's the trick. It slopes that way, not this way.
You're going delusional. You've been in the tropics too long, Kev. Too much carver.
That's
oh my God! We're drinking too much carver.
That is dead level.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm not convinced, but anyhow, it doesn't matter.
I will never judge you because you could be wrong. Anyway, don't matter now. We better get this squared up.
Yeah.
Middle there. Okay, now go on the corner over there. Okay, righto. Loosen the bearing. Don't need that bearing. Here we are repairing the wheelbarrow. On the first wheelbarrow load of concrete, the wheel collapsed, and we wanted to have it go to complete the rest of the task. So we set to repair the wheelbarrow. find a bit of steel, and I'll give you a go. If you find a piece of steel, this is a bit of old steel, a bit of old stuff. Yeah, put that on your head. You'll have to adjust. Have to adjust. I'll put him through once we get that one on. That makes it bigger. You have a big head. Now you're going too fast. Too fast. Slower. I'll change your rod for you. Now we'll try you out. We'll weld that along there. Really hard.
Where's that tag?
Yeah, you got a bit. So try again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, no. Not right. Yeah, give it another go. That's not right.
Come back every tractor we welded up.
Actually, can't weld over slag. So hang on, I'll get rid of that slag. Get out of the road. Now try it. You might go about an hour's burnt the galvanising on it. There you go. Oh, gee, you might have got it. Well, that's good. Beautiful. I reckon you make a welder.
What's it,
Yeah, that's good, that's good. I bet you I'm going to get back for a bit.
This is the second group now. Yeah, put us in Speedy Gonzalez voice or something like that, won't you?
Turbocharged, eh?
Okay, so to allow the SP Pro to operate correctly and to be wired correctly, we have to modify the generator winding connections and also enable the two-wire start so that the SP Pro has now got control over the starting and stopping of the generator. Very, very energy-saving feature.
I'm not. Oh, they come from there. Oh, I mean, that's
good.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, we're all good.
It's a carver switch. It's not going to turn off every night.
How do you spell Morley? M-O-R-L-E-Y? Morley. M-O-R-L-E-Y? M-O-R-L-I.
I'm actually right.
What is that turning off, actually?
Nothing.
Nothing? No. This gives you something to turn on.
It's turning on your hopes and dreams.
It's a bit cruel, I reckon.
You're right. Morley Kaya Smith. Ah!
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
It's cruel, isn't it? It's a bit cruel.
So if you just if you get some wires and then hook them up.
I will, yeah. What's that? See if I've got a spare short circuit in your bag.
Yeah, that's good, Ed. I want to know.
I just want to get this swirl line wire here. Single wire as return.
So my devious mind is at work here. I try and create a bit of frivolity and a bit of laughter within the workforce. Just having a bit of a joke, and I owe Maury one, so this is a way I can sort of test his knowledge. All in good fun, and I hope you can see the funny side of it.
They always called me Short Circuit, eh? That was my nickname.
I wonder if he gets the Aussie humour. I don't know how iron ore prices go quite high again. It looks like half. It's a shame again we didn't bring a list of our sponsors to put on the wall. Wouldn't that be right? Yeah. Just things to think about later. Just thinking, I reckon we should make up some metal cedar signs. Yeah. It's so big. Yeah. And we could send it over and get them screwed on the wall. Yeah. We donated that in the store. Donated in the store cost.
Can you just explain what's happening in Rhode Island?
It's a series circuit with a short circuit in it. It's a new MEN system. Actually, it's a SWIR system, single wire earth return. Only found in Vanuatu. This is in memory of the blackout. There we go.
You're a bugger, I reckon.
Carla switch.
Sounds like you're working with me.
All wood.
Okay, me not got something on this fella something.
You got it sorted there, Murray?
Yeah.
There'll be questions after.
Yeah.
You see the controller?
Yeah.
You see when you turn them off, one of those lights come off and on, they flicker?
Oh, yeah.
Oh!
See they're on there?
Nothing.
They'll flicker, looks them flicker.
Yeah. It's over here.
If you get an earth return on internet signal,
Mm-hmm.
it improves the reception.
Does it?
Yeah. It does, it brings it right down. This is fresh from Wondai.
It's just a freckles.
People think there's no technology in the bush. They do.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
It's just a frequency modulated controller.
Just ups your Wi-Fi.
Couldn't we get it a little bit rougher than that?
You don't need cover.
No, just a bit rougher.
It's nano. It works on nano capacitance.
Yeah.
It does.
No, but it's a bit.
You don't believe me, I know.
Huh?
I'll prove to you on paper later.
When have I doubted you? And nanocapacitance, I mean, what's a capacitor? I don't even know what a capacitor is.
You want to see a nano one?
Well, the internet signal pulses in and out here.
Mm.
So by interfering with the active and the neutral conductors through the earth controller,
Strengthens it.
it'll strengthen it.
Right.
And you can see the lights, when you turn it on, those lights are flickering.
Well, I can't see that, but okay. When I turn it on,
Yeah.
Look. Flicker. See the flicker?
So that's
flicker.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, leave it the other way. Yep, that's it.
Alright.
It's beautiful.
But Marlo, he has really got to understand that. But I think he understood already. He
Oh,
sort of
the
got- he-
carver switch. Okay, the carver switch.
I think we got him. It's cruel, isn't it? Right, cruel.
How's your circuitry tracing, Murray?
My circuitry tracer.
Check it out.
Well, I can see an earth there. That's obviously carrying about 100 amps, that little goes back.
Notice that the Earth's a 4 mil Earth, not a
Yeah.
2.5.
Yeah.
What size are the other conductors?
They're little ones.
Is that for
About
inductance?
2.5.
2.5.
That'd
Yeah.
improve inductance.
That's right. But you've got to have the
Oh,
Earth.
all you've made's a loop. It's just an inductive loop, is that it?
Yeah.
You're a bucket, you are. You're a bucket. I'm glad I can't stand the
3 loops.
You know what my nickname is?
Dr. Julius Sumner Miller.
Short circuit.
You sure it's not wire loose or screw loose?
It's called taking the mick out of Murray.
You only got one little screw loose here. Oh, well, I deserve it, I mean, I've taken the mickey out of everyone since I've been inside.
Well, you know, I'm lucky I was here when they did it. I'd have been caught the same way, I can tell you.
But all it is a loop up there. Is
That's
that
all
right?
it is.
That's all it is, a loop. All right.
There's a bit of earth light.
Anyway.
Oh, I think I've had enough for today.
Yeah, and other two fellas would call them, okay?
Yeah, no, no. Just say, guys, this we just really boosted the Wi-Fi. Well, we had to test it first. We had to test it first. Actually, I don't know whether I'm going to go back home tonight.
You're sleeping below me, aren't you? I forgot about that. You're underneath the... I'm on the top bunk.
You're in trouble.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a big drink of water tonight before I go to bed.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
And maybe a sleeping.
Luck,
Anyone got any Valium to make me sleep?
As long as you're not on giant diuretics. Everything look good? And turn Morley Carver switch on. Just joking.
The handover training was so crucial to this whole exercise, and we had to be very sure they knew how to understand to operate the system. So we trained them all the way through every step.
Show us the Allen key. Show us the Allen key.
we completed our task well and truly ahead of time. So we decided we'd have a go at trying to improve the structure that they had for the solar panels they had in stock. So we had to pull it apart, unfortunately, and try to redo it. So it was a little bit more substantial. We actually scarfed the posts and screwed the timber to the post instead of being nailed, which in the cyclone hopefully will hold together much better.
Yeah, I put them on before.
Because it's a very small space. Ah, yeah.
You see that?
Yep.
The system we're working on here is the system that they had in store before we arrived, the batteries and the inverter, along with the solar panels. So we're just tidying up that system, just changing it around a little bit to make it work better.
It's going to go down.
I don't reckon it will. Anyway.
Well, if it doesn't go down, that's good. I mean, it's 50.6 is being close enough, mate.
You know, these Lister engines have governors that are just perfect.
That'll be good. 50.4, no, that's good.
Boost Max or
And I want a closer shot because otherwise people can't see the
Okay. So it's a matter of keeping these topped up.
So, what does all the talking is this?
This does all the talking.
This,
Yep, that's the master. Yeah.
So it makes the mandate.
It makes the decisions. Yeah.
Makes the decision.
Yeah, it makes the decision. Yeah. No.
We just tied it up better, but that just sits.
Yeah. This is the one here. Well, I'll get some two ways and prove that it's dead. But if that's boys' dormitory, I know what's going on.
The purple is there.
Yeah. Okay. All right then. That is correct. It actually goes directly to the principal's house. That leg, that red leg.
If you could just turn that off.
It's off.
We decided to leave you this drill because you haven't got any drills. So we thought we might leave you this one. Okay, but it's really important to understand how it works. Because if you overload them too much, you can burn them out. So it's really important that one person takes control of it, so you know how to operate it, and if you want to show others, you show them. Okay. Right, that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? And just in reverse, you want to take it out. Push it back that way. In the gearbox. Push hard, real hard. That's it. Now, if you're on driller, you're on torque. Yeah, and back to torque up and just try it. That's it. That's it. You got a list here?
Yeah.
Got a list of questions?
Yeah.
What next question?
Next question is how long does the generator charge the batteries to be fully charged?
Okay. That depends on how much they're down. Now, if batteries are down very low, it can take many hours.
Is that a small one?
That is a small one.
No, that's easy.
Look at him go.
I could do that.
I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Your turn next.
Look at the lizard's got a bit even up there.
Sa Trilise tame pian layu basta kontap. Wani kam tahun, pai kam tahun. Wani kontap. This is the lizard. Black lizard.
Yeah, black lizard, yeah. Do they, they live in the trees, do they?
No, they live in the tower. But when we stay in the middle of the forest, they be staying up and coming down.
This bloke would be handy in the building site, wouldn't he?
Oh yeah. They wouldn't let him up there like that. He's left his flies down. Can somebody take him up to him?
You don't move, mate, I'll cover you.
Don't cover the lens.
Lapai round. Last one na yun lang yan, oh. Ito ka samantala, ito laharap lo fruit mo mo after come down. All the day.
Well done. Hey!
Yeah, we're going to follow. You want every skin off or
Just to drink. Just to drink.
We found the generator was continually blowing black smoke when it was running, and after some investigation found the problem with the air cleaner was totally blocked. You can see here it's just black carbon. It was caused by the exhaust fume blowing back through the window in the engine room. So we set to with another air cleaner we found in the cupboard, which wasn't quite the same, but we modified it a bit.
Solar flame dogs always find it the coolest spot to be.
That's his name.
Nice.
Wait till I give you the signal.
Nice and loud.
Real loud, okay? SP Pro.
SP Pro.
No, louder. Oh, a little bit better. Go again, ready? SP Pro, go.
SP Pro.
So we're here at the local Lagana store. They sell fuel by the flagon, by the way. Of course, there are no diesel pumps on there, so the flagon comes in very handy.
The principal discussed with me his thoughts on climate change. It's his reaction. So, what happened here with Rome? Explain what's
Back to 2009, this road here was active where lots of people and vehicles are still using this road. So just within the last, say, 6 years, the sea actually came so much on this road. So this is where the original road was. Yeah, so just within 6 years, see how much the sea actually sitting down in the sea is actually evidence of how fast the sea actually moves. This is evidence, live evidences of climate change.
So you have lost some land?
Obviously, yes. In the last 15 years, the land actually spreads of about 50 meters down. Within that period of time, a lot of people don't take this seriously. They take this for granted, but for us to understand the problem that we could actually face with this sort of disaster. Yes. As I said, in the last 6 years, people were using this road here. Another moment, part of the road is actually sink below the sea. Just within 6 years. Since 2009, people, truck was still using this road. You see how fast the sea actually yeah. No roll-on. Rob, Owen, Michael, and the rest of the SEA team, it is a pleasure and it is so sad as well to farewell this evening. Your time here is very short, I would say, but I hope you've enjoyed and to me you have accomplished the mission that you are here for. I would like to take this time on behalf of the school council, the school administration, and the rest of the staff and students of this college to say words of thank you. At the beginning, we say we welcome you, and throughout the last few days, you've done a marvelous job. Thank you so much, Brian, and your team for the heart that you are able to render into the prestigious college, St. Patrick's. So thank you so much. It's been a dream, and it's been a while, as Diane actually said. It took us more than a year, but I still kept your promise, and today we are enjoying the reality of our works. So thank you so much for that. So thank you so much, Diane. It's been so helpful in getting information across. Owen is so helpful in sending emails across so that we can get updated information of your coming. And I'm so thankful on behalf of the college to say we are so privileged and we're so thankful to have these facilities here. As I said, Brian or whoever would actually mention more how and what to do when you actually leave us. But again, your short time with us, it's been so lovely, and we actually reckon we try as much as possible to ensure there is no difference despite the skin color. Your brothers and our sisters. Okay? So we thank you for that. Thank you, and also I would like to extend words of apology for any inconvenience we might have actually caused during your time here. For anything that we did not actually provide in regards to your needs, I do apologize for that, but I hope you've enjoyed the time.
Hey Ted, you don't feel relaxed? No stress. Very good.
His eyes aren't straight. He's not listening.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry? Yeah, sure. Mike, thank you so much.
So it's been a pleasure to meet you, and have everything works out well. Decent hospitality, so
I'll give you the drum.
John, you're fired up, aren't you?
No.
So we all here?
Did everybody see what the cook got?
What? This one?
No, just look.
That's
Island cooking.
Ah! No, he's got pants on.
Island cooking, and this is Owen in the pot. Owen in the
On a skewer.
Boat charter.
So we're at Longana Airport ready for our trip back to Luganville, which is a connection flight back to Port Vila, then Sydney and back to Australia for us. Our plane was supposed to be here at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's now around about 9:30, 10. We have some anxious people on the ground, including Diana. But it is Vila time, and it is pretty shabby sort of weather. And I believe the pilot's probably putting our safety first. He's probably observed the weather. It's just that communications are not real quick on the island.
Time to spare, go by Billy.
We waited, and it rained and rained and rained, and eventually we did get a message through to Air Vanuatu, and they actually sat on the ground for us in Longana, waiting for our flight to get in. So heads up for Air Vanuatu. Heads up to the young guy who looked after it all. Did a wonderful job.
They don't
know what's going on. So now it will be a matter of when we get there that I'm into that office for the last week. Nick, Rob and Maury. Because Nick and Rob have a flight to catch. So I don't know what's... I need to find out first what the heck is going on with that plane.
Alan's the co-pilot. You look right at home there, Alan. You look right at home there.
All right. Just check the fuel gauges, Nick. He's flying this one empty. This one's got 30 gallons.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, that's to keep the weight down. No, this is. I'm quite at home with this one. We're never going to go off the ground.
Sorry, I'll be recording it.
He's drained all the fuel out of this tank. Only got 30 gallons left in this one. Let's see him get more weight.
those on critical flight schedules had to leave early on the first flight. Nick and I and Maury stayed back to go on the flight after this one, which was the same plane returning. I asked the pilot before he left, I said, make sure you come back and pick us up, won't you? He said, I will. So, and he was good to his word, he was back within an hour. We had to try and arrange a flight to fly to Tonga Island, the island where we first went over on our first trip and did 3 schools. We had to hire a private plane, and negotiating is very difficult. So we used a contact of ours over there who we met on our first trip. He was a taxi driver, and we let him do the negotiations. We found it was much easier to do that than do it ourselves. They know everybody. They've all got cousins, relations on islands everywhere. So we let him do the negotiating for us. And we ended up achieving a good result with a chap that owned a plane from New Zealand who lives at Port Vila. And we contracted him to do the trip for us.
Some of the members on this particular trip. But there was also Brett Hyde and Patrick from Sydney, who were also part of that first party. That initial party had no knowledge of each other beforehand, never met each other, but they got in and got the work done. Fortunately, they'd done a lot of work in Port Vila, and that really assisted the whole project.
We'll meet the head teacher from the area school here. He's at a meeting here. Hello. Remember me? Yeah, we've come to check the solar on the school.
So these wind speeds of gusting up to 400 kilometres an hour are the strongest winds ever recorded on Earth. And the other part of it, of the wind, was when it was blowing, it blew for 24 hours, up to 48 hours constant at speeds, reaching and gusting up to 400 kilometres an hour. Just uncomprehendable.
An inverter and a regulator and all that control stuff on one board. We built all that in Port Villa. So when we came, we just installed this and put the panels on the roof. But we'll just check it and see what's happening, eh?
The unfortunate part is that people lost their food source because they're subsistence type farmers. They lost all their pawpaws, their mangoes, and just once again, just like a massive whippersnipper, cleaned out the island.
This is a French school. This one, isn't it? This is a French school. There's one English school and 2 French schools we did. Yeah, so that's all working really well, isn't it? It's going well. Yeah, that's great. 100-year-old?
About 100 years.
Oh, 100 years, okay. 100-year-old, okay. Yeah, and it's growing back up again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll go.
Yeah.
Thought you weren't here.
I was here and then I just
Yeah, we've been up to the school up here, so we'll go and have a look at every school. It's my grandson, Nick. Yeah, Nick's doing a documentary on this whole thing here and on Airbay. So, yeah. Look at that.
I just telephoned Diana.
Diana?
Diana, when the plane arrived, and I told him that I just say I'm meeting Rob at the airport.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Diana's not on this trip.
Okay.
She's gone home. She's at home now.
Oh, she's at home.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nick and I are going home tomorrow, so we thought we'd take the opportunity today to come over and just have a look at what's going on here and check it out and talk to you about maybe some other projects.
Yeah.
We're thinking about coming back over again to here.
Definitely.
So we need to talk about some other things we might do.
Thank you very much.
So, is this on?
Okay.
So when you plug it in, the generator goes straight in.
Okay.
So you can pull that down, and that'll work your generator.
I've never used that.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So who put the new roof on the school building?
That's the school administration, without any help from the government.
Okay.
Just the community, the parents, and the staff, and even the students.
And that must have been pretty difficult. It must have drained your funds a bit.
Yeah, we raised a lot of funds, but the cyclone came and there's nothing that we can generate the money.
Yeah.
So we try all the best to have the income to rebuild this classroom.
Okay. Now this big building over here that blew away, what chance is there of getting that rebuilt?
We don't have any chance at the moment to any funding coming in.
And at this chance there's no chance of funding from anywhere?
No chance of funding anywhere.
And was that one of the major buildings for you at the school?
Yeah, that's right, that's correct. This is the major classroom that it accommodates almost 3 classes, and we still need help, someone to assist us to rebuild this.
Okay. And the UNICEF tents are still over here. There's 5 of those, is there? Or?
Yeah, the UNICEF, this is almost a year, 1 year, and the children are still facing difficulties inside when the weather is
just too hot. Yep.
So at the moment the tent is broken, and we need some permanent classrooms at the moment.
Well, we might just walk up and have a look, eh?
Yeah.
So you're telling me about the UNICEF tents being here still, and this is one of them.
Yeah.
And is any chance of these being removed at this stage, or are they still being used?
It's still being used, and at the moment the school is closing its door, and we don't know whether it's going to last or during this cyclone season.
Yeah,
that's not safe. It's not safe for the kids.
But they certainly seem to be a bit more weathered than they were in February when we were here, so they're obviously deteriorating fairly quickly, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we might just go and have a look.
So we use this classroom for 2 classes, and when there is a bad weather, the rain is weather, the water cover up this, and it's not safe for the kids. Yeah. And even though the sun is too hot,
very hot,
very hot, but the kids are to be sent out to the shade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's not suitable for the kids to learn anything here.
Yeah, this was probably the biggest project we took on when we were here last time, Chief. But this looks like, to me, is where the brunt of the cyclone came through. It seems like a lot of damage here. Roofs were taken off, but they've all been put back on here. And this seems to be a problem. This is a French school, isn't it?
It's it's like also a boarding school.
Yeah.
It's going together with the boarding school also.
Yeah.
They're moving up to the boarding school.
But it seems like all the French schools have been fixed up, but the poor old English school is still struggling. So that's true. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's disappointing. But anyway, we might have a look around. We end up doing 150 metres of trenching here between all the buildings, and we put lights and power points in some of the classrooms. But this building over here was the teacher's residence, and it's now not being used. It's just completely damaged. No sign of that being repaired at this stage?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I might go and have a look and check it all out, eh? Yeah. Okay. So it might have been a little bit flat, but that's okay. But anyway, I'm a bit concerned about the 2 houses being on here, but yeah. Okay.
So, Chief, what's the name of your village?
Lumbogodi.
Right, okay.
I work as a district administrator.
Right, okay, yep.
Province, so I look after everything
in the whole island?
Yeah, in the whole island.
Right, okay.
Thank you very much for coming, and hope to see you on June.